Hey guys, so one quick drill. After we go over the basics of how to throw a 1, a 2, one of the main problems people have when they come off the wall a little bit, when they throw a punch, and this is why in the first video I have us going through this routine of hinging at the elbow, pushing the strike out without any rotation, and then rotating at the end. If you look at my elbow should stay in this line on that jab the whole time. Same with this with the cross. The elbow doesn't want to flare out. The number one mistake people have when they first start is that their elbows flare out and they push through the punch. And on a straight punch, I lose power when my elbow comes out of line with my shoulder and my hand. And so a really easy drill you can work, now here's the thing, is it's very easy to cheat on this, is to get up next to a wall and get your shoulder right next to that wall and get in your stance. I'm almost leaning in a little bit here. And I'm going to throw that jab here. And if I find myself with my elbow hitting on the way out or drawing back and hitting this, then that's coming out too much. Now, I want to say, if you have someone watch you or you have a camera and you can do exactly what's happening here and put a camera on yourself, it's very easy. What I see a lot of people do is they pull their shoulder away from the wall when they throw so that their elbow doesn't hit the wall, but they're still hinging out. I want to stay tucked right into that and just, see I hit right there on the way back. On the way out, you don't want to have that brushing, right? Now, if you find yourself hitting, throw the punch straight a few times. And try to turn over a little later. If you want to swap around me, Scott, go to the other side. Just keep walking, keep walking. I can do it, just switch sides and get my cross set here. So now I have my rear arm set against the wall, and again, I'm trying to throw. And if I hit on the way back or elbows skim on the way out, I know that my punch isn't coming out straight. And again, I can get right on that wall. I want to go through the rotation with the foot, the hip, get the shoulder forward, my chin's down, and just push that strike out, and then try to keep that line, all right? The last part, let's just come out this way. You can just film, stay with me, this way out here. This is a little bit harder in the air to do, but I'm gonna think about my elbows from this position, and when I'm in here throwing 1-2s, again, it's very easy for those elbows to flare out when I'm throwing. And if you have a mirror in front of you, and everybody thinks this is disgusting, there's probably a better way to do it, but I would just take my finger and lick my finger and make a little strike zone on the mirror in front of me. I'm sure you could maybe use a dry erase marker. I probably should have thought this through before you do something on your mirror at home. Some way, you could use tape, it doesn't matter. I just take my finger and lick it, and I can see the little box in front of me. And I'm trying to make that box so that when I look in the mirror, it goes right to the outside of my elbows as I'm in my fighting stance. So that box in this position should be right on the outside of my elbows. And I get into my stance and I'll throw my 1-2s, but if I see that elbow coming out, and I'm looking in the mirror right now, and that elbow's coming out of that strike zone, I know I'm flaring out too much, right? These are for your 1-2s, your straight punches, because everyone always asks, well, what about an overhand right? What about a hook? Yeah, all of my arcing punches, the elbow is gonna come out, but I don't want on my straight punches to have that elbow coming out. There's a trick you can do, which is to make the strike zone a little bit smaller than where your elbows start, and this isn't necessarily what I'm doing all the time when I'm fighting, but I like this as a drill, and I have to turn that body in and throw that strike. And as I rotate, I have to turn that elbow still in and throw that strike. So I can really sneak really tight punches up the middle, all right? As an exercise, it forces you to do the opposite of what most beginners want to do, which is to punch like this. So, quick little drill, you can get on a wall, just make sure you have lots of space. You can lick a mirror and look at your elbows. Thanks, guys.